If you want to create meaningful relationships, whether it's with your partner or whether it's with friends, this is the video for you. Because in this video today, I'm going to talk about finding direction, the 5 steps to create meaningful relationships. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chris Richardson. I'm a life coach here at Life on Your Terms. And I make these videos to allow you to gain some of the knowledge and experience that feel like I have, so that you can apply it and not have to go through the trials that I've went through when creating relationships or living a life on your terms, for that matter. So it's enough of that. Let's get into it right away. The first piece to creating relationships that are meaningful is it starts with yourself. Everybody wants to go out and create these relationships, but they don't ever take a look in the mirror and realize, hey, what about me needs to happen or change, or what do I need to realize about myself to create these meaningful relationships? So when I mean it starts with yourself, I mean that you need to identify what matters most to you in relationships. When you want a friend, are you looking for someone that's going to be with you in your journey and supports you along the way? That's personally what I look for. One of my biggest markers of a great friend is supporting me through hard times and being happy for me when I succeed. It's one of the biggest things I look for in a friend. Maybe for you, it's just finding someone to do something fun with, whether that's go watch a football game, or maybe it's work on business together, or maybe it's bring both families together and have a good night of dinner, or just hanging out together. You got to understand and identify, what do you want in the relationship. Same thing with a romantic partner, same thing with family, with friends. It's understanding and identify what do you want in most relationships, because that'll help you look for the relationships that you want. So that's first. Also, identify what are your strengths and weaknesses as a friend or as a partner. Personally, my strengths and weaknesses are that I feel like when I'm with someone, I give them my absolute full intention, and I really care about the time we have together. One of my weaknesses, though, is I probably don't reach out frequently enough. So being able to identify what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, that'll show you what you can leverage throughout your friendship to help your friend or help your partner, but it'll also help you understand, what do you need to work on? What are some of those struggle points that may come up between that relationship, and how can you work through those, and how can you get better at those? So that's understanding of what you need to look at yourself with, and starting with yourself. And also looking at, what are your values? Because relationships don't really work if you don't value the same things. If you have different interests, different values, and you don't care about the same things, well, it's not going to be very easy to have a relationship with that person. So understanding what do you care about, and looking for friends generally interested, or looking for a partner that is generally interested in those things, will be helpful. So that's what starting with yourself is about, is identifying what matters most, identify your strengths and weaknesses, and look at your values. When you do those 3 things, you'll have a good start on what you want to look for in relationships. Now, once you want to create those relationships, the second piece, and arguably one of the most important pieces in any relationship, is communication skills. It's understanding that you want to be actively listening. So often nowadays, you see all these people on their phones at dinner, and that's not active listening. That's not building great relationships. So you need to be able to put down the phone, actively listen to the person across from you, and show them that you care. On top of that, being genuinely interested is important as well. Give them emotions. Don't just be like, yeah. Care about what they are saying and be interested about it. And I feel like those are my 2 hacks to relationships: is active listening and genuinely caring and being interested in people. I feel like those hacks for myself have, number 1, helped me create so many great relationships. So at my day job right now, I work at Costco, and at Costco, I have a personal relationship with every single person I work with. And I can truly say that because I put an effort. I put an effort to understand, what do they care about? What's going on in that person's life? Because I care about people and I want to know. And I have a better relationship with most people there than the managers. I mean, I have a better relationship with the GM, the AGM there, because I put an effort to understand what's important to that person. And if you can do that, I promise you, you'll have no issue with creating meaningful relationships, because you're going to put in and care to what they care about. And on top of the communication, you need to be able to be direct. You need to be able to express your feelings as well. So if you're in any type of meaningful relationship, at least with me and my partner, we really practice being direct with each other. Sometimes it hurts when we say stuff to each other. We're like, hey, I think you're doing this. I think you're slacking in this way. It's just that direct communication, but we understand it makes us better. And we're also willing to express our feelings towards each other. Hey, I am upset about this, or I'm upset about this action. And being able to communicate that back and forth is really powerful. And if you have that and create that in your relationship, you'll have no problem creating meaningful relationships. Now, the third piece, and I'm going to tie back to a piece of communication, I really think this deserves its own point, is related to being interested. This truly does deserve its own point, is that being interested is the key to any meaningful relationship and creating that bond. And I mean genuinely interested. You can't fake it. The easiest way to care about someone is to care about them. Really figure out what are ways that I can be interested in this person, because everybody has some uniqueness about them that is amazing. It truly is amazing, and everybody's interested in their own things that make them a genuine, unique person. And that's where I derive enjoyment from learning about people. And if you can take that approach, and some tools you can use is ask open-ended questions. What do you like to do? Where do you want to go? Just start digging and exploring. And I'll say that being curious and being present, those are my two acts that I kind of mentioned in the last point. Being curious and being present has been my hack for not only my relationships, but my coaching practice as well. If I'm genuinely curious and genuinely interested and locked into what I am hearing and understanding, I'm the best coach in the world, because I'm able to, I'm saying that as a metaphor, but I'm able to understand and dig to what does this person want to know and what's important to them. It's the same thing with relationships. If you're genuinely curious and you're interested, it's very helpful to the relationship. So that's being interested. It's very important. The fourth piece to creating a meaningful relationship is to build trust and reliability. And what I mean by this is in terms of your word. If someone tells you something and they ask you to not tell anyone, hold that sacred. Hold that secret sacred. On top of that, if you tell someone something, I am going to do this for you today, or I am going to do this today, stick to that. Stick to that word, because that'll build trust, that'll build reliability, and that's really important to a relationship. Now, on top of that, with the trust and reliability, respect each other's boundaries. Everybody has their own boundaries. Understand what are their boundaries, and then respect them. And that can be very helpful to creating a meaningful relationship as well. That point's kind of self-explanatory, at least in my opinion. Now, the fifth piece is invest time and effort. And what I mean by this is you need to actively seek opportunities to be with that person, whoever it is, a friend, relationship, whatever. You need to create quality time. That kind of relates back to the active listening piece. Put the phone down, stuff like that. Listen to the person. Also, support during challenges. If you know your friend's going through a hard time, being that shoulder that they can lean on is immensely powerful. They'll be indebted to you. Not literally, but they will feel that way. They'll feel indebted to you because you showed them that support. At least in terms of my friends, when I feel like they've showed me support, I feel that way. So support during a challenge is really powerful, but then also helping them celebrate. When they have a success, if you could be one of their biggest cheerleaders, it's a meaningful relationship, and you'll never disappear as a friend or as a partner. So that's the things. Those are the 5 things to create meaningful relationships. Maybe you have more, and if you have more, I encourage you to hit the comment section below and tell me what else makes a meaningful relationship, or how to create a meaningful relationship. Now, on top of that, I encourage you to take the balance wheel in the description below, because that can help give you an idea of where you feel your relationships are at and where you want to improve them.